How's it going, YouTube? Tuner here. Today we're going to be going over a few stories, nothing major, so it's going to be a bit of a shorter video today, but it is still nonetheless very interesting if you're a Dragon Ball fan, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. First, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball The Breakers, we just got the Season 4 Patch 4.0, adding Broly as a Raider. So, it says here, a super aggressive Raider who starts at Evolution Stage 2 and overwhelms survivors with a multitude of powerful attacks. If the Raider is Broly, Dragon Balls will not appear during the battle. Instead, the new battle item, Super Transfer, will drop. When using a Super Transfer, you can Ultimate Dragon Change into the form of a Super Warrior, and you will be able to use that character's abilities. Just like the Ultimate Change activated by making a wish to Shinron, your limit gauge won't be consumed unless you take damage from the Raider's attacks. During battle, after fulfilling required conditions, 3 Super Transfers in total will be sent by Trunks. The character you change into varies depending on the Super Transfer. And they actually added a new battlefield called Dangerous Ground. So, I saw this in the trailer and I thought it was a little weird and a little lore breaking because all the other battlegrounds seem to be pretty straightforward. You know, just locations from iconic sagas. Whereas in this, they're actually taking a few spots from Vampa, a few spots from Earth, and combining them together on one battlefield. It's an interesting approach, and it really just shows that they're willing to try new things. I mean, if they tried to make the whole thing on Earth, and they tried to make the whole thing, or they tried to make the whole thing on Vampa, that could be a little weird, but doing this and mixing it up a bit, it makes it interesting. The key visual was really cool looking too. They also added some new survivor skins that you can find. They are Hercule, aka Mr. Satan, Chilai, and Limo, or Limo, depending on how you want to say it. They also have Bulma, that's right. Bulma is actually in the game as a skin, and it's not the Dragon Ball Bulma, it's Bulma from Dragon Ball Super Broly, so that's always interesting whenever they add some new variants of existing characters that are already skins. Also, if you missed it, the Farmer Survivor skin is now available in the shop. So I think previously he was part of a battle pass, and if you weren't playing the game back then you can't get him. Now, you can play them, so that's pretty cool. You can just go ahead and pick them up from the shop. Moving on from the Breakers, if you're a Dragon Ball Heroes fan, then you probably already seen this. If you haven't, then I'm very happy to be bringing you the news that yes, Dragon Ball Heroes is getting a Dokkan mode. Now, if you're like me, you're saying why, and the reason is not clear, probably because Dokkan's popular. They think people want to play Dokkan and do the color match thing. I don't know. I don't understand it. But if you're into that kind of thing, this is a new thing that they're doing in Dragon Ball Heroes. If they ever bring another Dragon Ball Heroes game to the US, maybe this will be part of it. But I thought it was interesting enough to share here. And going back to the Dragon Ball The Breakers news, I know we just took a brief intermission, but this is breaking. Gohan and Beast is actually in the game, not as a survivor or a raider or anything. It's just one of those abilities that your character picks up. You know, just how your character picks up any other abilities and uses them and stuff. So your character actually gets the Gohan Beast outfit and the hair, and he takes on that, you know, that spirit or whatever it's called. So that's interesting. They added Gohan Beast in a roundabout way to Dragon Ball The Breakers. And because we're low on news and we need to be grasping at straws here, I'm going to extrapolate from a little tiny piece of news, and that is, per translations from Todd Blankenship, aka Herms98 online, he says, to celebrate the DBS manga's 100th chapter, Toyotaro will be on the variety show Oha Star, giving a lecture on how to draw Goku. Japanese elementary school students can apply to be one of the 3 kids to be on the program and get taught directly by Toyotaro. It airs Monday to Friday at 7:05 a.m. Japan time, and Toyotaro's How to Draw Goku lecture is scheduled to air in December, but no specific date is mentioned. Applicants should be elementary school students who like to draw like Goku and want to be a manga artist someday. So the most interesting part here is it says no specific date is mentioned, but it's scheduled to air in December, and it's to celebrate the manga's 100th chapter debut. So what does this mean? Well, if you actually go online, you know, to Viz or whatever, and you look at how many chapters of Dragon Ball Super are out right now, there's 98 chapters out. By the time we get to December, there will be 100 chapters out. So of course we're celebrating 100 chapters in December. That's obvious, straightforward stuff, right? But here's the most interesting part. If they're celebrating 100 chapters, they're probably not going to, you know, do that thing where they take another hiatus. I don't think that they'll be taking another hiatus. I think we'll just get to 100 chapters. Maybe at the 100th chapter, we'll end the superhero arc, since it's like the big milestone achievement. And then halfway through that 100th chapter, or in chapter 101 in January, we launch into our next arc. And of course, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're saying, why are we still caring about Super when Diamond's just around the corner? Well, if you saw my Daima speculation video, I think what they're going to do is Daima will be a 20-episode series celebrating Dragon Ball, all Toriyama written or whatever, and then we'll get Super back. That's just my theory, but you know, it gives Toyotaro more time to cook, if you will, and it gives him more content to create. And then whenever Daima concludes, we get Super back, adapting Moro Granola. We could adapt Superhero, because let's be honest, the animation, the goal would be to get Daima animation for Super, and then that would be really good 2D animation, so we could adapt Superhero into really good 2D animation. I would like that. And then we get this next arc adapted that Toyotaro's doing, and then we go from there. But that's just purely speculation on my part, but it's just something I figured I'd throw in here as a last bullet point, because like I said, news this week is pretty thin. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you have something to say, comment down below. Of course, if you feel like it, subscribe. I'm really enjoying making YouTube videos, and I'm loving Dragon Ball lately. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys thought about all the things I covered. And I will see you in the next one. Peace off.